Hello, friends, and welcome to the 19th episode of the Squad Pod, where we love to talk about all our favorite battle royales and multiplayer games. I'm Maddock Jr., and hot dropping into this week's podcast, we have the headshot and sharp shooting, head clicking, straight shooting, 100% accurate, all-time Gulag champion, Kevin Asex. How you doing, Kevin?
Me? And I was like, really? Wow. I don't think I was that good. Was I really that good?
Hey, I just try and provide a theme for like what your intro is going to be. And you're like, I didn't really play any new games this week. So that's what I went with.
That's true. Really, not much. I was just, achievement hunter, cleaning up achievements, here and there. And that's pretty much it for me this week.
Gotta achieve them mints.
I do. Easy.
And finally, rounding out the squad pod for this week, we have our number one watchdog expert and SimCity superstar, Washburn.
Whoa.
How's it going, Washburn?
What's up, guys? Yeah, SimCity superstar, definitely yes. Watchdogs Legion expert, not so much, but I'm excited to talk about it.
Questionable.
Well, let's just roll right into it, probably, right? Might as well. You can catch the podcast on youtube.com/snowbikemikegaming and podcast services around the globe every Monday or Tuesday. It's a good time.
Someone would say, where's Snowbike Mike? I haven't seen him in a long time.
We don't know.
His day rate got too high.
Yeah, I mean, go to his chat, just spam up Being Squad Pod, hashtag Being Squad Pod, and then maybe he'll be on it this time. Oh, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
And while you're at it, go to Bone Jangles chat on Monday morning and say the same thing.
Yeah. Be like, forget the laundry.
We miss him.
Squad pod. Yeah.
Be like, hey, the squad pod misses you. They're gonna rank the Warzone next week. Could you join them for that excursion?
He needs to be on there for sure. Mike.
All right.
Who knows?
Yeah, he's flaky, that one.
He's quick resuming out of his mind.
Probably. He has a next gen console. He's living in the future and he just can't come back to the past with us.
Yeah, so we get it, Mike. You have an next gen console, but I mean, look at your achievements. I mean, it's not even close to mine. So, are you really an Xbox fan? Calling them out right now.
Ooh, dang. Dang, dude.
I'm here. Xbox, send me an Xbox Series X.
If there's someone from Xbox listening to this podcast, I would be mildly shocked.
Phil Spencer says it's his favorite podcast.
Oh, yeah. We'll put that as the tagline from now on. Welcome to Phil Spencer's favorite podcast.
Favorite squad podcast. There we go.
Oh. Yeah, you just got to add the modifier so that you're always correct.
Yeah.
Like we are the number one squad pod on iTunes,
It's true.
Can't prove us wrong. All right, let's get into it. Washburn, we'll start with you and your Watchdogs Legions, good times, bad times, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I picked it up basically because it's been so long since I've played a new AAA game. I feel like that I got the itch for something, anything. I was sort of weighing the options, thinking maybe I'll just wait till the Series X, you know what I mean? Maybe, or the PS5. I was feeling like I'd bought my last game on this current generation of consoles, but had a little bit of a long weekend-ish this weekend and wanted something to do, and figured, if I'm going to try something on smart delivery, it's going to be Watch Dogs, right? Because it's out now, and this time next week I'll be 2 or 3 days away from the Series X. So I got it for those reasons and have played about 3.5, 4 hours of it. So I don't have too much to say. So take that, however you want. But it's frustrating. I think that's the one word I'd use to describe the game so far. I want it to be better than it is, and it's just not grabbing me yet. I do think if I put in, 4 or 5 more hours and it's still not grabbing me, then I can officially say, okay, this isn't for me. But I do want to give it a fair shake. And I am interested to see what the upgrades are for when the Series X comes out and it does get that does use the smart delivery. So That'll be interesting. In terms of narrative structure and all the things I've heard about, oh, the story suffers because there's no main character. I personally, I never played Watch Dogs for the story. I always played Watch Dogs because I thought it was cool to drive around and hack everything. And this game certainly has that. The issue I'm running up against is it doesn't feel good to play. I don't enjoy the way characters move. I don't enjoy how they control. Driving doesn't feel very good at all. I'm always just running into things. I think part of that has to do with just how populated London is and how much traffic there is at all times. I did manage to get on a motorcycle today while I was playing, and that did help considerably because I was able to sort of bob and weave through traffic because the streets are so narrow and you're always bumping up against traffic. So that's frustrating. The thing about the game that frustrates me the most, I think, is just the visual style and the tone of it all. It's just obnoxious, or at least bordering on obnoxious. I know a few British people, they don't talk like this. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
No British person I know or have ever met speaks this way. So I don't know if that's because maybe they're not from London specifically. And I don't know, but it's so over the top. And I do recall Gary telling us once while we were playing Fall Guys that he just finds the accents really obnoxious because he thinks a lot of them are fake.
Mm-hmm.
It does sort of feel like that, and that I think that does come across a little bit, and it's just so over the top. Every character you meet is just so stereotypical and obnoxious. Or not stereotypical and obnoxious, stereotypical to the point of obnoxious, I guess is a better way of putting it. The visuals of it, when you can hack literally everything and there's an indicator on your screen that indicates, hey, you can hack this, that's a lot of visual information flying at you. And for me, I lose focus of what's right in front of me a lot when I'm playing this game because there's this over here. There's a camera over here you can hack. There's a cargo drone on this corner of the screen you can hack. You're driving. You can hack this car that's also driving right in front of you, make it go forward and backward. Oh, here's a barrier. You can raise it up or lower it. It's so much, and it's all coming at you all at once. And I just don't think the game does a very good job of presenting that to you well. In this game in particular, doesn't have much of a tutorial at all. You go on like one little intro mission, you recruit one guy, and DedSec sort of says, all right, it starts with you, and here's your first mission. Oh, but you can also recruit anybody, which is fine, I guess. But like I said, I don't want to sit and ramble too long on it because again, I've only played about 3.5 or 4 hours of it. But I think I'm going to give it a fair try. I am curious to see what it looks like on the Series X.
For sure.
With the smart delivery. Because it is pretty. I mean, it's a pretty game, but I've seen better. So yeah. We'll see if when that smart delivery upgrade hits it and that ray tracing hits it and hopefully 60 frames. If there's that much of a boost and if it feels a little bit better to play.
I am interested to see when you do go to that smart delivery. Like for me, it will be when I download Dirt 5 on the Xbox Series S after playing it on my regular Xbox, like what the size of the download ends up being that provides whatever benefits that we're going to get, or if there is like a massive one, or if it's just like a small amount. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that just to see what kind of difference we're getting there.
I imagine it's going to be pretty sizable. From what I've heard from some other people, that the optimization patches are pretty beefy.
Okay.
So what I do want to give a shout out to with this game, in comparison to other Ubisoft games, that have come out in the past couple years, is the map seems manageable. It's not gigantic, which I appreciate, because I this is definitely not a game that I will spend over 50 hours in. There's just no way. So I do appreciate the size of the map. I feel like you can drive from one corner to the other in probably about 5 minutes, which is, I appreciate that versus something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where if you were to go on foot, it would take you hours,
Yeah,
So,
even on the ship, it would take you hours.
So I do appreciate them hitting me with a smaller map. And we'll see what happens when Valhalla comes out, if Ubisoft's just saving all the size for that one. So yeah, it's Watchdogs. If you played 1 or 2, you know the gist. You run around, you hack everything, you infiltrate bases, you take people out in goofy specific ways. But yeah, we'll see. Talk to me in like 3 weeks about it. You remind me in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
To give you my thoughts, because I do want to try it on that smart delivery.
For sure. Kevin, do you have any questions about Watchdogs Legion for Washburn?
I was gonna ask. You played the first 2, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Yeah, I liked 1. I really liked 1, and I know
Really?
I know that's not the popular opinion. I know most people say, "Oh, 2 is the better one," but for me, this 2 is when they started taking it in that direction, where the style and the substance and the tone was just so over the top, versus 1, which did seem a little bit more grounded, and just in terms of that. So I really enjoyed 1. Played 2, beat it. It was fine. More of the same, just like I said, more of that sort of going in that direction of obnoxiously over the top and goofy and silly. And this one really does lean into that. So if this is the direction they're going to take the series, then so be it. I feel like Ubisoft does that enough with their other games. And you look at Riders Republic and everything's just bright pink and neon green, and it's just, I don't care for that style as much. I'm more, in line with the grounded style of the desaturated grays, of Watch Dogs 1. So, yeah.
Kevin, have you played either of the first 2?
I played the first one. I liked it too. It wasn't too bad. I don't know why
Mhm.
people didn't vibe with it. Was it the story? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the main complaint that a lot of people have, is just Aiden Pierce is just not a good character, which is, it was a basic story. That's fine. Aiden Pierce's family got murdered, and it's a tale of, him having to uncover how and why and go on a quest for vengeance, which whatever,
Yeah.
2 is more like, fuck the man, we're taking on the man, we're bringing down
We're
the
hackers.
system. Yeah, we're hackers. And it's just like, I don't know about all that. So
I didn't like 2 as much. I thought it was too edgy. I don't know why. It's based in San Francisco, and I thought I would have liked it, but man, those characters are like, man, look at us. We're so cool. Look at us. We got neon lights and stuff like that. And I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I vibe with these guys.
And in this one, everybody's like that, Kevin. Everybody. Like every character is like that. No matter, I mean, I recruited so I've recruited a handful of people. The first person you recruit, you get a choice, right? Because obviously you have to start somewhere. So it's like, pick your first operative, and it brings up like 10 or 12. I picked this guy who's a podcaster. So he can, and his ability was he can summon like a drone. So I picked him, but God, his outfit's so stupid. It's like neon purple, fading into neon blue. He's got eyeliner on, and he talks like an idiot, and he's just so stereotypical to the point of obnoxious. And like you said, Kevin, you used the word edgy. That's what this game is. This game is edgy as can be. So if that's not gonna vibe with you, then I would just avoid it.
You know what I'm scared of? How we're like, man, we don't vibe with these kids. And I was like, man, are we getting old?
Yeah.
I was like, what if this is what the kids like these days? I trying to be edgy and cool, like neon lights and stuff. And I'm like, damn, I feel old.
Yes. And I was thinking, I was playing it today. And I do have one girl that I kind of like, that I recruited. I can't remember what her backstory is, but I've played with her enough now. She's sort of been the only operative I've used, and I've sort of built that rapport with the character, as silly as that sounds. And just the way she talks and moves and operates. She has a little stun gun, so she can do like non-lethal takedowns. But she looks edgy. I mean, she's got, you know, the neon green hair and the jumpsuit to match. So it's got that style, man, and it goes for it. So if that doesn't speak to you, then yeah, you can avoid that. But I know you can also recruit Aiden Pierce somewhere in this game. So that's gonna be goal number one for me.
Oh, really?
Just go find Aiden Pierce and grab him and play as him, because all these other people just are so over the top.
Yeah, I played a decent amount of Watch Dogs 2, and it is very over the top. The one part that I found the most hilarious was when you go and infiltrate what is hypothetically Google, and there's just like all these jabronis, you know, doing jabroni stuff, being tech bros, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty lukewarm on it, if at best. But it is creative, the things you can do and the ways you can infiltrate bases, and the choice that the game gives you. It's all there. Something I've enjoyed doing is hacking the cargo drones and flying them over to my character, and then exiting that, going back to my character, climbing on top of the cargo drones, re-hacking the cargo drones, and flying around with my character sort of standing on top, you know. So my character's like literally sort of flying over the bases and looking down on everything, and you can hack this camera and arm this trap and do all that. And so yeah, I mean, that's creative and fun. And I do think once it gets on smart delivery and does hit 60 frames and does have the ray tracing, I will enjoy this considerably more.
All right. We will have to check back in with you.
What was I gonna ask? I don't know if you talked about this. What do you think of now having a protagonist?
That's fine. Yeah, really? I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I really don't. Because like I said earlier, for me, Watch Dogs has never been about the story, and I think that's why I'm a little bit higher on 1 than most people are. And so for me, it's actually cool that they go this route, and it's a game about going and doing this sort of the checklist, you know, the standard Ubisoft checklist. You have a map, here's a thing, go do it. You know, the story doesn't really matter. You're gonna upgrade your skills and your tech trees, and like I said, the girl that I have who I have been playing with, I sort of started to like her a lot and develop that sort of connection to that character. It's very similar, and it sounds, just go with me here, it's similar to Animal Crossing in the sense where I have these connections to my villagers, these NPC characters, right? Who I have nothing to do with. I don't control them even, but they're there. And the more that I play that game and the more that I talk to those NPCs, the more I feel a connection with them. So now I'm at a point where if I lost my island, I would just be distraught. You know, where's Phoebe? No, like, you know what I mean? It would just kill me inside. And so I think this game can and will do a good job of that, where you recruit somebody, and you can recruit anybody. So like you go up on the street, you choose to recruit this guy, you start playing as this guy for hours and hours, and every character does have dialogue because they have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it will sort of dance that line of you're not in a connection with this character because you care about their story. You have a connection with them because you've played as them for so many hours.
Ooh, I do have one more question for you then. Are you playing with permadeath?
I was going to ask too.
No. No. Okay. I had planned to play with it, and I thought it sounded cool, but the kicker was if all your operatives die, the game is over. It's game over. So yeah. I don't like... If that wasn't a thing, I probably would have been on permadeath because I thought that sounded cool. If it got to the point where like you lost all your operatives, if the game was like, oh, everyone's dead, we have to pull this random guy off the street and continue the game, I probably would have played with permadeath on. but the fact that it's just game over really turned me off. So
yeah, I feel like that leaves the opportunity for you to get screwed at the beginning of the game and have to replay it.
Yeah, so no, I'm not playing with permadeath.
Can you turn on permadeath whenever you want, or is it something you have to do at the beginning?
It's something you have to do in the beginning, and once you make that choice, that's your playthrough.
You know what? I'm gonna do it if I get this game. I'm gonna do it. Permadeath.
Yeah, try it. I'm curious because like I've only died once, and I do have I think 5 operatives now. And Nate was telling me earlier you can have up to like 45, which is crazy. So, if you do build out your roster and have that many, I'm sure permadeath wouldn't be that big of a deal. But like I said, if I were to lose my girl now that I've played with for so long, it would upset me for sure.
So you said there's a limit, 45, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can kick people out of the little group you make then.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't, because I only have 5, okay. and I only really have the connection with one, because she's all I've played as, and I'm sort of feeling out the game still. I'm still in that sort of phase, so we'll see if I do find somebody on the street that interests me. I do want to build Granny Squad, like that was my goal. I want to build Granny Squad, the Golden Girls, But I haven't found Granny yet, man, and it's upsetting. So we'll see if I find Granny and add her to the squad.
One day you'll find her. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all the questions I have about it. Does 1 and 2 you played it? Does it the story relate anything to 1 and 2? Do you see anything that are saying, "Oh, remember what happened in 2," or "Remember what happened in 1,"
no,
like that?
No.
Okay.
Or is it just like dead sec?
It's dead sec.
So anyone
CTOS.
So anyone can just jump into the game without having to play the other ones. Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely don't have to play 1 or 2 to understand what's going on here.
That's pretty cool. That's nice. I have to play it then.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably pass for now, just because there's a lot of stuff going on. But one less thing because Cyberpunk got delayed. But for now, I will pass and maybe come back to it at a later date if I feel so inclined. The one of the games that I wanted to talk about this week is Ghost Runner. Ooh. Ghost Runner is a like ninja simulator, wall running, sliding. It feels kind of like the Titanfall movement a little bit. You stick to the wall a little bit better, and you kind of just like when you get on the wall, you don't really lose vertical distance, which definitely happens, I think, in Titanfall a little bit.
Yeah.
And all you have is a sword, and you have special powers where you can like kind of slow down time. And what's the other one that I have? Oh, you can like line up multiple characters or enemies, and you can slice through all of them at once. But it's kind of like this very cyberpunky world that you're just like running around in like sewers and vents and all sorts of stuff. So it's a lot of jumping and hopping around and solving those kind of puzzles, and then also the addition of enemies in certain sections as well. And I think it does a pretty good job of balancing those two. So far, I've just upgraded my like dash ability a little bit, so I think it recharges quicker, or I can do it twice in a row. And then I also have the bullet deflect option on, which is cool. It's harder to pull off than like a lot of games if you think like Star Wars, with whatever that
kind of hold up.
Those ones were kind of easy, where you like didn't really have to time it to get it to go back at the person. This one's a little bit tougher. There isn't really like a defensive stance. It's just kind of like you have to click right when the bullet is coming like sort of close to you, and it kind of deflects back. I've definitely done it on accident a few times when I've been like really up close to a person, which is interesting. But it's a fun time. It's I've watched Andy Cortez play it a bunch, and then I've played probably like 2 or 3 hours now. And they've only added 1 power at 2 or 3 hours in, and I think there's 4 total, so that will be interesting to see. And the level design is like changing, and like the enemies are changing like pretty consistently, so it just gets a little progressively more difficult, and you have a little bit more to do in your arsenal. It's very cool.
Do you die in one hit?
You do die in one hit, but also the enemies die in one hit for the most part. So
is there really a jump scare in the game?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's like there's characters that get added like an hour or two in where they jump at you. So I think that's what the jump scare was about, because you don't always see them coming, and all of a sudden like they'll be straight up in your face.
I remember seeing that, and I thought that was like the jump scare of the game, which was weird seeing that for that type of game.
Yeah. The music is dope.
Yeah, also. To me it looks like Doom mixed with Super Hot mixed with Katana Zero.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks pretty fun, man.
Yeah, it definitely has that like Super Hot vibe of being able to like slow down time a little bit.
Yeah, that's where it's like I'm seeing this guy jump and then stop time and then move to the left or right to avoid, laser fire. Looks cool.
Yeah. It's pretty dope so far. I'm definitely gonna finish this one at some point. I hop in for like a little while every day, and the good thing is when you die, it's just instant. You're like back at where you were.
That's good.
Back at the last checkpoint.
Appreciate
no
that,
load time.
Yeah,
especially
no
with
load time at all.
This looks very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there was a level that I died like over 100 times.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's
good.
But when you do get it right, you're like, damn, that was cool.
Yeah, you feel good about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I might have to try this. This looks like a good time.
I do not know how it feels on controller. We'll have to see if we can get some opinion on that. But on mouse and keyboard, it feels really good. The game runs very smoothly on PC as well. I'm pretty much getting a steady 144 frames on my PC. So it's nice for sure.
You think you ever want to try out controller yourself? Or do you just want to stick to keyboard and mouse and not even controller?
I like keyboard and mouse. Kevin is the thing. Yeah. So like,
so you don't want to go and even try it at all. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, maybe I'll give it a try just to see what it feels like. I think that the movement might be a little tough, though. I guess actually with the Pro controller, it might not be that bad because you got like the paddles and the jumping and all that stuff. Might not be terrible.
Who knows? That's what I had to ask, because I'm like, I don't know where to get it. Like, I want to get an Xbox because I just like achievements and I want to go for the achievements, but I wouldn't mind doing it on PC and just go with the keyboard and mouse and doing like that. But I don't know. It's tough.
There's like a few spots where like the platforming bits I feel like might be kind of tough on, unless you have your sensitivity like dialed in right. There's like certain spots where you have to do some like kind of quick movements that are probably a little bit easier on mouse. Is what I would say about that in general.
I need to, man, I don't know. I'll see when I get it, man. Because I really want to get that. I still haven't gotten Hades, so I really want to try that out too. But
oh yeah.
There's so many games I need to try.
I haven't gotten back to Hades yet. I need to get back to that.
Really cool.
That's kind of all I got on Ghost Runner.
You said you're not that too far into it, but do you know how long it is?
I do not. I think it's longer than I was anticipating, though, just based on like how much I've unlocked so far and how there's like 4 slots for unlockable stuff, and I have 1 of them unlocked. And the other thing is on mine, I have it set up so that it tells me how many deaths and how much time I've spent on the game on each level so far. Like, so it's like ongoing. So even when you reset, like the timer's still going, and you can like, it would be like a speed running game to some people. I'm sure it's definitely very difficult, but like I played the first level twice just because I was like, I just want to get a feel for this and see if I can do it faster, just out of curiosity. I think I did it slower the second time, but it is an interesting aspect to the game to be like, oh, let's see if I can do it with 0 deaths or whatever. It would be interesting to see if they put in a mode where it's like, if you die, you get reset to the beginning of the level and you just have to like try and for an extra challenge. That'd be kind of tight, but I think the difficulty, you'd have to be very good at the game to accomplish any level probably. But very cool game, very cool idea. I played the demo, and since the demo, I would say the textures got upgraded a bit, and it was like the first 2 levels of the game, basically. So that was cool to see that it had made pretty good improvements.
Do you encounter a lot of enemies at the same time, or is it just like one at a time type of way of game you're encountering enemies?
No, you'll like walk into a room and there'll be like 5 or 6 sometimes.
Okay.
It just like depends on the size of the room and like the layout. So there'll be like certain ways you want to approach it. Like there's characters that have shields and you have to destroy the shield by like wall running past the thing and slashing it. So it's just like there's like 1,000 different ways to approach it too. Like you can start off going left or going right in pretty much any level or like any area that has enemies in it.
Yeah, I was curious about it because you said it was like one hit kill pretty much, and I was like, at least with Katana Zero, you're not really gonna encounter that many enemies since you die one hit too. So you kind of one at a time sometimes. So that's why I wonder how tough it is.
Yeah, if you are moving, you're pretty much not gonna get like randomly hit. The only time that I feel like I was getting like hit when I wasn't expecting it by like a bullet was when I was like slashing through someone else and someone had fired it just like lined up weird. But as long as you're moving or like using the slow motion and stuff, the slow motion like recharges pretty quickly. So
okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's like a second or 2 before it like goes again, and then you can use it again. It's very cool, and I think you can add additional upgrades. And the upgrade system is like a weird Tetris game. So you can only take a certain amount, and there's only a certain amount of the like screen unlocked, and you have to like put the Tetris shapes in to like maximize the amount of upgrades you can use.
That's interesting. I want to try it out.
Yeah,
it's a must play then, in your opinion.
I would say so. Yeah, I've been having a great time. It just feels so good when you're like running around, slinging off walls and stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool. God, man, running around walls. Man, I want to play Titanfall now.
Yeah, I know, right? Every once in a while, we just like play a game that reminds us of Titanfall, and we have to go back, right?
Titanfall's so fun. Running on walls, getting those Titans down.
Yeah, it's a classic for sure.
Work. What do you got? You got any questions about it?
No, I just think it looks to me like super hot, where it's just ultra stylish, and it's something where you bang your head against the wall and try over and over and over again.
And it's addicting.
Yeah, I think $30 to me sounds like the correct price point for this game. So yeah, I think I might give it a shot if I'm feeling like I need to just eat up some time.
Yeah. The other ridiculous game I've been playing is American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, you've been trucking, huh?
Yeah, I've been trucking. You know, sometimes you're like bored, waiting for something to get finished at work, and you're just like, you know what? What if I just trucked for a little while? You know, you just drive around California delivering big rigs and all sorts of stuff. You know,
Truck Simulator. I gotta look it up. I want to see what this is.
It was $5. I was just like, you know what? I just want to play this game because it seems silly. And they're also adding a Colorado thing soon. Oh. And I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want to try and like drive over like some ridiculous mountain pass with that thing.
$5 on the, what did you get on Steam?
Steam, yeah. It's pretty silly, but you like can build. It's kind of like the other game that I played because Washburn got me to play it this week was Sim City, where you can just like build an empire basically, where you start out as the first driver, and then you can buy a truck, and then you can buy a trailer, and then you can hire other drivers to also, and you can build garages and places to store freight, and you can just create like a whole trucking network essentially. So I think that's where the addiction really comes in. And the other thing is like if you're driving something that takes like 2 hours, it doesn't actually take 2 hours. So it seems like when you're driving at like 55 miles an hour, you're probably going at like 105 in real life or something like that, you know, because you're like passing a lot more mileage than, which is good because no one actually wants to, you know, simulate a 10-hour drive driving at 55 miles an hour.
Can you do it though? Would it let you do that type of way where like if you go over the speed limit, maybe like a cop will come by and stop you, or is it?
Oh, if you're going over the speed limit and you pass a cop, their sirens go off, and then you get a little notification that says you've been fined like $500.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you
that
turn
Or
it
if you hit someone.
So is the goal of the game to finish your run with quickly and with as little fines as possible? Is that like the goal?
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole idea is just like to build like a trucking network and have like all the money rolling in. Kind of like when we were playing SimCity, you're like just trying to manage everything so that your city's making more than it's losing. Because you also have the lovely loan system that's going on.
Yeah.
Where you like get like $100,000 loan so you can buy a truck, and then you're like, all right, well, I guess I just have to keep on driving freight around.
You're locked in now.
Yeah, you're just locked in, you know. There's just something nice about just like driving around, watching the country roll by, seeing what California looks like, you know.
It's nice when it's on fire, huh? You know.
Yeah.
Is it something you want to go back to and play a lot more, or is it just a one-off thing? You just tried out because it was $5.
I'll probably play a decent amount, I figure.
So I wonder if you want to. Do you want to get? Is this the type of game you want to get a steering wheel for?
I mean, I want a steering wheel anyway because of Dirt 5 coming out.
Oh, okay.
My dog's losing his mind. I don't know if you can tell.
He's a happy boy.
So yeah, I want one for Dirt 5 and F1, and you know, but like steering wheels are expensive, and then I'm like, do I really need this? Yeah, I mean, I know I'll use it, but
buy it once, you have it forever.
That's true. That is true.
You have to buy another one ever again, unless they come out with a super really cool one, you know.
Yeah, I guess the Logitech one seems to be pretty good. It has like a clutch pedal, and you can buy an additional like actual shifter if you want. I was like, that seems like a little overboard, but
the game plan
that's kind of cool.
Has it right now with the Logitech one and the gear shifter on the side.
Yeah. You can get really deep into those things though. Like the sim racer setups that like for the F1 esports league is like intense because they have like a whole setup so that like the resistance is like almost accurate to like driving a car, which is crazy. Because then it's like you're almost working out while you're driving these things. But yeah, that's my simulator experiences of the week, I guess.
You plan to get more? You plan to get like the ice trucking one?
So I tried on Xbox. There's one before the ice trucking one that came out that was kind of like a off-roading dirt
runner.
Dirt Runner, which is the same developer as the Ice Runner, I think.
Snow Runner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And oof, that game is something. It's like very tough, and yeah, it's very realistic to like getting stuck in the mud and stuff like that, which is cool, but also like not something I really particularly want to deal with.
No, sorry, Mud Runner.
Mud Runner. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I tried that out a little bit, and I was like driving an 18-wheeler logging truck, and it was just like it's just like rumbling the whole time because you're on a dirt road, and you're like, this experience is not fun.
Yeah, it just sounds so frustrating.
Yeah,
was it because
like I know that Fran plays SnowRunner a lot, but I haven't seen gameplay of SnowRunner.
I was gonna ask, was it difficult because you were on a controller, or?
I think it would have been difficult either way.
Yeah.
And it's also like that thing of like, it feels like you're not making any progress and it's taking a very long time to go like a mile.
Huh.
And I like going fast, you know?
Yeah, it's gotta go fast.
So when I think about it, if you want to go fast in that American Truck Simulator, like would there be a point where like you get too many fines, they just stop you and then make you stop playing, or you just keep going no matter what?
I mean, you're getting like $500 fines for every time you're getting a speeding or crashing fine, and you're making like $8,000 to $10,000 a trip. So you'd have to get a lot.
So you gotta at least.
I did flip it over though, because Washburn was like why are you playing this seriously? And I was like, I'm having fun playing it
Take
seriously.
it off-road,
Okay.
dude. Take it off-road.
So I tried to whip it a little bit and go real fast, and then I ended up flipping it over. And I have no idea how you unflip it, to be quite honest with you. I just loaded an earlier save.
You still stuck? Oh, okay. I was like, you still stuck there to this day.
Yeah.
It's like Kerbal Space Program. Once Jebediah gets stuck out there in space, he's just out there, man. He's out there forever
until you make a new save.
Yep.
I guess, Kevin, do you have any things that you wanted to touch on about games you've played?
Games I've been playing? There's a game I've been wanting to play for a long time, and I think I'm going to take a crack at it because it looks too wacky.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to take a crack at Yakuza.
Yakuza? Oh, okay.
I really want to try
You know who
it
is a big Yakuza streamer?
Who?
Ian, why not?
He is.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of the Yakuza 0, I think.
It looks, I don't know, it just looks so wacky and fun, and I'm like, and then it sometimes it does take, like, it goes really, like, in the serious side, and I'm like, oh man, I want to know what's going on with these people now. What's been happening? And I don't know. And how many have they made already? Like,
there's so many of those games.
Yeah. They're up
there's some of them on Game Pass, though?
Yeah, there's Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2. And those are the prequels to the other ones. So, like, I really want to play it and really want to try it out. I think I'm gonna try it out this week. We'll see how it goes.
See if you'll be interested in the new one that just is going to be next gen. Like a dragon.
Yeah,
and that's a spinoff, right?
Yeah, a spinoff, and I think kind of a sequel too, because I think it was also called Yakuza 7, but they made sure to name it differently since it plays differently.
Yeah, because it's more of an RPG, I guess.
Yeah, and like I'm not really playing just because of that game. I just wanted to play because I've been watching Ray Narvaez Jr. Brown Man. He's been playing a lot on his stream, and every time I pop in there, it's always something crazy that's going on, and I'm like, man, this game looks really fun, and he's having a lot of fun with it too. So I'm like, I really want to try it out now.
I popped in when he was streaming it a couple weeks ago, Kev, and he was like playing. It was like Hot Wheels. He was like in a store with this big Hot Wheels track, and they were remote control Hot Wheels, and they were all lined up on their little tracks and racing.
Yeah.
But then like it was like a tournament. And you could also like go to the guy at the cash register and upgrade each individual part on your Hot Wheels car to get the absolute most out of it on these little built tracks. And it's insane. Like, this is a full game.
Yeah.
Like this little Hot Wheels thing is a $10 game that could be sold on the Xbox Live Store. Like easy. And I feel like Yakuza is just like 100 of those mashed into one, but also like an extremely highly regarded narrative on top of it all. So yeah, I think, Kevin, that sounds like it's right up your alley. And I've kind of wanted to try Yakuza 0 for some time as well to see. So
and
they've been going on for so long. It's like, what is the secret sauce that makes everyone go back to these games so many times?
How come they keep making it, and what's going on? And like, and this game has so much into it too. Like, like you talk about that like race car like Lego thing. Like, that's like one of many games you can play in that game. And there's so much to do in that world. And like, you can like rent a cafe, or whatever, or you can go do karaoke. And you can, with the cafe thing, it's like a maid cafe or whatever. It's like a girl cafe where you have to like assign girls who to go with. It's just so crazy. Like,
yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going to try it out. I have to try it out. I'll let you know what happens after this week.
Okay.
It's going to be really fun. I can't wait. That, and I'm also going to try to finish off Spider-Man DLC. The last one.
Nice.
I haven't finished it. I've been kind of saving it for later for Miles. So I can't wait for it.
It's not
so you get back into the control scheme and you're ready to go.
Yeah. What were you saying, Washburn?
It's not that long. Where are you at on that?
I'm on the last. I just started the last one.
Okay. So you're on the silver linings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each one of those is about 3 hours ish.
Yeah. It doesn't take too long.
So yeah.
No.
I just hate the screwball challenges. Annoying.
We also got to play Apex this week, Kevin.
That too. Yes.
Last week I was like, I don't know what's going to get me back into Apex, and then this week they were like, "There's a new map," and I'm like, "I'm back, baby. Let's go."
I gotta check it out. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Well, it'll be interesting to see if they institute a 3-map rotation or if they just stick with this one for like the whole season or half the season, and then not go back to the other ones. But we will find out shortly, and we'll definitely talk about what we think of the new map next week, I think. And then finally, we just wanted to touch on a few exciting things about that were talked about on the Activision call about Modern Warfare and Warzone. But first, I just want to say jump scares, they should just keep them.
No.
Forever.
No.
Just like one every 2,000 boxes can have a jump scare in it.
Dumb, dude. Like, I'm so glad it's November 1st and all this Halloween bullshit is behind us. Like, oh man, I hate Halloween, dude. Let's move on.
It's just the best watching you and Mike and Andy just
Mike's
like
gonna have
react.
a literal heart attack, dude. This man is on 3 Frappuccinos and 4 Red Bulls a day, and these jump scares are gonna give him a heart attack.
Yeah, that might be true. But so far we have a little bit of news. This news is about how they're going to integrate Warzone, which is exciting to us, I think, because we're big Warzone fans in here. And we've been playing it a lot more recently, I feel like, than we played Season 6 a whole lot more than Season 5 already, I would say. So we're supposed to get an announcement of how they're going to integrate in the next 2 weeks. It should be in December that the integration is going to happen, and it will be lined up with the first season of content for a season pass for Black Ops, which is exciting. We'll see what kind of stuff they throw at us. The weapons you unlock in Black Ops Cold War from level 1 to 55 will be usable in the war zone, and you'll be able to pick between a Modern Warfare or Cold War loadout when you drop in. So this is just going to add like a chaotic level of different possible guns to use, I feel like, and setups, especially if they're allowing the wild cards to be added in there. You can still use your Modern Warfare content. And what was the last thing? Warzone is going to continue to run on the Infinity Ward engine, which is like the biggest question mark.
That's big. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big news. That means it's they're not going to get rid of mounting and all that stuff. That gameplay is here to stay. I do wonder if they'll add health bars and anything else flashy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess all that stuff is it still has to be like, it would have to be like like the swimming mechanic from Cold War wouldn't be able to be just like imported in since it's a different engine though, I guess is the only thing, which is kind of a bummer because I was kind of hoping there'd be like a integration of that crazy warship map. Yeah. But we'll see. I think it all sounds pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening and getting the hands on Cold War here shortly. Anyone have any thoughts?
I'm just excited for Cold War to drop and get in some more multiplayer gameplay. I had so much fun with that during the beta and the alpha. So yeah. I one thing I hope they bring back is Prestige. I really do. I want it back. I think that I think it was really silly that they took it out of Modern Warfare only to reset you every season. I just don't see a reason for that. Sure, you can reset the battle pass every season, that's fine, but I don't see a reason for resetting your overall level. I want Prestige back. I think it gives me an incentive to keep playing multiplayer, and a lot of people, I would imagine, feel that same way. So
yes,
I do. I want it back. Bring back Prestige. Let's get back to the basics here. And yeah, I'm really excited for Cold War, man. Super, super excited.
I wonder if they plan on having like a emblem creator and stuff like that in Cold War.
Oh, no way. There's no way to police that. I just,
it wasn't pleased previously, so
yeah, I just don't think they'll bring it back in.
Yeah, they don't want that heat.
I mean, yeah, there's just no way, man. And that's a shame for many reasons, obviously. But yeah, I love that in Black Ops 1. My emblem was always just a Pokeball or Grover, so it was dope. But yeah,
the two I had were Captain America shield, and I once created the kind of funny garbage truck on fire.
Really?
Yeah, and maybe it was in 3 or 4. I don't know which one.
I think what I had was always anime things, so it was always an anime character. I always liked them. I always like to cut some creative emblems, and I know people can go like really like offensive, but I mean, like when I played it, I don't think I saw too many like offensive stuff back in the old Black Ops games.
I feel like it was mostly dicks, but other than that,
I mean, you could just
nothing that offensive.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I'm surprised you guys want Prestige back. I don't want it back.
I just do, man.
Because you lose all your guns, your Prestige.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of it. Like I love the leveling up and earning it all. For me, that's what makes Call of Duty so addictive, and what made the beta so addictive was leveling up those guns. As soon as in the beta they took it to like everybody has max level guns now, I was like, oh, lame. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't as fun for me because I wasn't unlocking anything. And I don't, and I feel
that
like
is the loop.
Yeah, and I feel like even though I don't have everything unlocked in Modern Warfare, I would gotta believe 85 to 90% of it, and so that's really slowed down, and it's not as fun to play multiplayer when you're not unlocking stuff. And maybe they figure out a way, Kevin, to separate your Warzone loadouts from your multiplayer loadouts. I don't know.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't care if they bring back Prestige, because I'm pretty sure they will separate Warzone and Black Ops. There's no way they'll make that together. Because I mean, technically, you still need to have all your weapons for Warzone. It'd be kind of weird Prestige and on Warzone. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I do think that they mentioned somewhere in this phone call with investors that it was going to have the same integration to like keep people going back to the regular multiplayer to like upgrade their guns.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yes, they have to bring that loop back, because as soon as Warzone came out, regular multiplayer, the player base just dwindled.
Everyone just grinding.
Yeah, if you're not like a CDL player who's in there practicing, then you're probably just in there leveling up your guns. So I just want it back. I want Prestige back. I think it's that, like Maddox said, that is the loop, right? Like that's what gives you the incentive to keep playing. And I just remember back in the day, man, like the race to be 10th Prestige, like that was always so much fun.
I don't think I ever got that far. But
like, oh man, I only hit 10 in Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Like I never hit it again after that because I was too old. I was in college at that point.
At 3, there were 15 prestiges, so you had to go further.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or 20. I don't remember. One they increased it after a while.
Yeah, I remember in one of the games, I don't know if it was the Modern Warfare ones or one of the other ones, they still had the prestige system, but it would reset something, but it wouldn't reset all your guns, or you could choose one gun where you could keep all the attachments unlocked for it.
I think you reset the guns, but like once you unlock the gun, you still had your attachments. I think something like that. I think you're right.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad.
Which is cool.
It's just tough unlocking everything again, and like, I don't know. I mean, I just like this now, because then again, I don't touch multiplayer anymore, so.
Yeah, we only play multiplayer to unlock stuff for Warzone usually. Which I always enjoy, and it's nice to like throw it back every once in a while.
It's not, I don't know, it's not that bad. I'm excited though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
hopefully they won't make a map.
Shortly, hopefully.
Hopefully they won't make a new map based off Black Ops with the Black Ops Alpine in there or something like that, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would love a new map at this point. They've like so minorly changed the current one. It's like, I hope that they give us a full new one just to mix it up. Because like opening up Stadium added some subway and trains, just like the amount that actually changed the map is like 1 to 2%.
Yeah,
of the entire map.
We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll change it even more during between now and the Black Ops integration in December. So who knows?
That's true. I also still wonder if they're just going to nuke it because that nuke is still sitting underneath Park that you can get into that bunker with.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will. All right. Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about?
What happened with SimCity?
Well, I just mentioned it with my truck simulator.
Oh, okay. Crazy? SimCity is crazy?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, back in the day, I was like straining my parents' computer to play it. And now I'm just like, obviously, it's like a blip on the radar of my current computer in comparison, which is funny. Because you always, when you were a kid, you're like, Mom, Dad, I want this game, and then it would just like barely work. You're trying
to look up how do you make it work, and then like you gotta add RAM.
It just won't. Well, what do you mean it won't?
Yeah,
surely there's a way.
They're like, get a graphics card. I'm like, I don't know what a graphics card is.
Yeah, exactly. My 10-year-old self did not understand computers and how they work, so I was just like, why won't this one work? And then I'd have to return games because they wouldn't work on the PC. It was so sad.
Oh man,
Yeah, I didn't have my mom was like, no consoles, and so I just tried to play everything on PC. Kevin, it's the way it rolled.
I mean, you can still play pinball on PC. Remember that pinball?
Space pinball.
Solitaire, yeah.
And
Minesweeper.
Yep, Minesweeper.
Crazy games.
Do you remember way back in the day, Kevin, with that little ski cross game? What was it? Ski Free?
Oh, I think
you
know
what
you're talking about. Yeah.
A little abominable snowman.
Yes.
Chasing you down.
Was that on an old Windows computer, right? Had to been.
Yeah, it's on a very old Windows computer.
So I think I had a 95 Windows computer back in the day when I was my very first computer, and I remember playing that one. And it was so fun.
It was so fun.
Oh man,
it's just the little things kept you happy when you were a kid. You didn't really care.
Had that, I had not even YouTube. I used to go to different video sites for that.
Yeah, YouTube wasn't that big then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week I think we're going to try and rank Warzone before the Cold War discussions start. Full on the following week, I believe. And then I'll probably talk about Dirt 5 a little bit because I have that one.
Talk about Apex.
I'm very excited. And Apex. New map on Apex. I'm ready to get back into it. Play a little crossplay, see how that goes, Kevin.
Ooh, we'll see. I'm curious.
If they could only just cross progression so that I have all the characters unlocked.
That's what I'm waiting for too.
On PC, that would be nice. But until then, Kevin.
Comms out.